If you're accused of domestic violence in Alabama, you should know that there's a number of things that you can do to defeat the charges. An accusation itself is not evidence. It doesn't mean that you're guilty of anything. Now, you should be aware that even when the victim doesn't want the case to go forward, oftentimes the prosecutor will ignore that and still press forward, even when, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, one of the parties is saying, I don't want to prosecute. Prosecution doesn't have to listen. So your lawyer is going to look at several things. The first thing they're going to look at is the evidence in the case. What's the credibility of the parties? Are there injuries or no injuries? Are the injuries supportive of what the story is? Are there conflicting stories and things like that? Your lawyer also will look at self-defense. Alabama allows a person to use reasonable self-defense. So if one party was under attack and they caused injuries to the other party, well, if they were doing it to protect themselves, and if the court finds that that was reasonable, they can win a domestic violence case, even if they caused injuries to the other party. Another thing that will be looked at is motive and credibility. I've alluded to this before, but, were there custody battles? Is there a divorce? Is there some other, another boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever? Is there a reason? Is there motivation behind this where the credibility of the person making the complaint is suspect at best? Another thing that your lawyer will look at is what we call procedural things. In other words, did the police act correctly? Maybe you have a statement that could be damaging, but if the police didn't do the right things, it may not be able to come out into evidence. So your lawyer will look at whether or not the proper procedures and things took place and whether or not that affects your case. All in all, you shouldn't talk to the police without a lawyer, and the most important thing you can do if you're in this kind of situation, contact a lawyer as soon as possible. I'm attorney Andy Siegel. If you like these videos, I try to put them out once a week, and if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. If you want to be nice to us, please give us that old thumbs up, the like button. And if you've been involved in some sort of situation like this and you want to put it in the comments, I'm happy to listen, and I may comment on it if I can. Thank you for watching.